What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Slackers, bringing you guys our next matchup in the Everyone Is Here tournament. So, if you haven't seen it, I mean, it's a simple concept, right? 100 characters put into a tournament. Each day on the channel, I upload one of the matches from the tournament, talk about the two characters that happen to be in the matchup for the day, maybe go over a couple facts, maybe a couple moves for like a mini moveset pool, whatever, and then we vote between one of the two. Which one would you rather see in Smash Bros. As a playable character? And, yeah, well, voting is a part of the overall rules, first and foremost, so I'm just going to throw up all the other rules on screen, and we're going to run through them real quick. And the rules are very straightforward. Rule 1, this is for fun. Keep that in mind when it comes to specific characters in specific matches. It's for fun because you can vote for who you want. You don't have to vote for who's necessarily likely, alright? You vote for who you want. That's what fun is, you know? Is it just, yeah, vote for who you want, alright? But do remember, you only get one vote per person, alright? You only get one. How do you vote? Down in the comments, simply type the name of the character that you are voting for, and, yeah, you are allowed to vote for both characters. However, if you happen to really like both characters, having a difficult time deciding who to vote for, you are allowed to vote for both. Totally fine. Just simply type both. Easy. Rest of the rules, though, double elimination tournament, meaning any character will have to lose 2 times before being eliminated from the tournament. Once we get to the results to determine the winner and loser of each individual matchup, if there happens to be a tie in the voting, just gonna flip a coin on camera. It's the fairest way to break a tie. And then each matchup, voting-wise, only lasts for just 1 week. So once the episode gets uploaded, you have 7 days to get your vote in for that match. If it comes in after that, it doesn't count. Sorry, that's how it goes. Alright, those are the rules. Let's get to the rest of the video. Alright, so we gotta go over the results from last week. It was another winner's bracket matchup, so both characters will still be in the tournament regardless of the outcome. But the matchup last week, it was Amaterasu from the Okami series taking on Bomberman. Yes, the assist trophy Bomberman, that guy, yeah. But that was the matchup, and ultimately, this one really wasn't terribly close. I guess, there you go, there's the results. Bomberman ended up taking this one 36 votes to just 22 for Amaterasu, so, or Amaterasu, not Tusu, whatever. Bomberman wins, so congrats to Bomberman. Moves on to the next round, he'll be taking on Scorpion, but that's in a few weeks. And again, Amaterasu is still in the tournament, just drops to the loser bracket, so one more loss for Amaterasu from here. Unfortunately gets eliminated then, but yeah, there's your results, so congrats to Bomberman. But yeah, no real story about the voting and how people did vote. It's just kind of straightforward. I vote this character, I vote this character. So yeah, that's how it goes. So where are we at today? Matchup number 140. Today's matchup, we have King Boo from the Mario universe, or maybe some people will say that is from the Luigi's Mansion. I mean, I get why you would say he's from Luigi's Mansion, right? He's a big boss in that. Ultimately, still came out in the Mario. We know what I'm saying, right? King Boo, we know who he is. But his opponent, Klonoa. Klonoa is a very interesting character. Well, I mean, from like the self-titled series, Klonoa, right? What's yeah, whatever. But Klonoa is one of those replacement characters after Byleth and Cuphead ended up happening. So Klonoa got one of those spots, defeated Tai in the last round. So Klonoa's got 1 win. So we'll see how Klonoa does in this matchup. But I think we got to start the game, start the match, start the more talking, right? Did I have notes somewhere? Hold on, I had a thing. I wrote down some stuff, but it's about Klonoa again. But King Boo. There we go. Alright, but King Boo. King Boo, of course, from the Mario series, and going forward, a lot of people, I think it might be a safe guess to say, we'll probably get one first party character, and that's where King Boo falls in. But unfortunately, the first party category, there are numerous characters that can cover. So why could King Boo stand out amongst everybody else? Well, first of all, he's always relevant. He just had Luigi's Mansion 3 that came out a few months ago. He's part of the Mario universe. If you put somebody from Mario in, odds are, if you're playing Smash Bros., you know what Mario is, first of all, and odds are you're going to recognize one of the characters, which is always a point I make. If you're recognizable, it helps the casual fans kind of say, alright, if I have a little extra money, would I be willing to buy this character? Would I be willing to buy the entire Fighter Pass, knowing who at least a majority of the characters are? And that's got to be a factor, right? So King Boo, a big baddie, another boss, which would be awesome. So the way I always envision it, even though this kind of came to my head right now. The way I envision King Boo, he would be a larger character, but I think he could kind of be a lightweight. And the thing that kind of contradicts me here, isn't in Mario Kart, doesn't he play as a heavy character? Which I never understood. He's a ghost. How does he weigh that much? He's a ghost. That doesn't make sense. So, I think for Smash Bros, it would be perfect. We'd finally have one of those characters that a type of character we don't have. Well, we don't really have ghost characters, first of all, so that's kind of cool. And we don't have big characters that are kind of lightweights in a sense. I'm not saying he's going to be like Pichu lightweight. No, I'm going to say like he's going to be, you know, I don't know if you want to say mid-tier, maybe bottom, you know, in terms of, you know, how light the character is. He's not going to be heavyweight. I'll put it like that. So, again, recognizable. Would have a fun sort of style that we don't have, so that's kind of cool. Bring something to the game. Bring something to the roster we don't have. Thumbs up. He's a villain. You guys know my stance on villains. I want to see a villain. Awesome. Plus, he's just, in my opinion, maybe I'm alone, maybe there's a couple of people that feel the same way. He's a character in the Mario series that has kind of been looked through. Get it? Because he's a ghost. But it's kind of been looked through, looked over, passed over, whatever you want to say, as a potential actual playable fighter. Because if you think about it, King Boo has a lot to offer in terms of potential playstyle and moves. So what kind of moves would King Boo have? So King Boo's not going to be the fastest character by any means. He'd probably be one of the slower moving characters. Maybe not the slowest, but again, kind of a slower. He's not going to be able to chase you down. He's not going to have Sonic speed by any means. But moveset, I think that's where a lot can come in. So you can see in the picture here, does have the crown. I mean, he's the king after all, right? There's a lot of kings. We could have an insane king matchup. King Koopa Bowser, King K. Rool, King Dedede, King of Evil Ganondorf, King something else. There's another king, right? I don't know. King Boo would be awesome. Who's the true king? Put that into a matchup. That'd be kind of cool to see. But moveset-wise, again, he's got the crown. You could use that for headbutts. Awesome. Cool. I believe he has a scepter. If you really wanted to dig into stuff, you could end up using that for like a smash attack or like a jab or, I don't know, a tilt attack or an air attack somewhere in there. Get that in there. Another idea that I've always floated, get it, because ghosts, because they float. But another idea that I've always floated out there was that he could summon little Boos, and they're kind of like floating projectiles, and they act exactly how they do in Mario games. Once a Boo gets on screen, they're going to start coming towards you. So 1v1, you summon, and maybe you could have like 2 or 3 out at a time, which would make very interesting style. So you got like floating projectiles. They'll slowly kind of home in on your on a target. I mean, if you're playing like multi-character, it's just the closest enemy they'll end up going for. But 1v1, kind of slowly kind of float towards them. So it'd be kind of a cool little added, just kind of like combo starter. Maybe not even a starter, but combo extender, if you will. So you got summoning Boos. He does have, like, he could take traits from other Boos as well in the Mario games. There's an inhaler Boo. I forget the actual name because it was only in like one Mario game. It's like the Mario game, one of the Mario games on the Nintendo DS, not 3DS, but regular DS. Basically, it inhales a bunch of air and it enlarges. And I think that would be kind of interesting for the character in the sense of maybe use that as, I don't know, down special. Inhales a bunch of air and like the character itself will expand and become bigger. So if he's in the bigger state, and whatever attack he does, maybe that attack starts doing more damage. But every time he gets hit, so like say it would take 5 hits. And once if he's in his enlarged state and he takes 5 hits, he'll go back to his normal size. Each hit, he'll kind of shrink down a little bit. So like the bigger states that he gets, a little bit more and more damage that he causes. So that could be kind of a fun idea. Maybe it wouldn't, I don't know if you'd be able to. I mean, it would take a lot to kind of wind up. It's not going to just be like you press down B and all of a sudden, poof, he's like 5 times larger than he normally is. No, it's going to take a little bit, kind of like if you want to say, I don't know, Cloud's meter, in a way, how he has to charge it up, maybe that sort of speed. It's going to take a little bit to get there, but once he does, watch out. So I think he's got some fun potential, definitely adds a style that we don't have in Smash Bros. So he's kind of definitely a character. He's really high on my list of characters that I really do want to see. So let's talk about his opponent, though. Klonoa. Now, Klonoa, this was never a character personally that I looked at and went, I want to see this character on the roster. Still not really, probably not even in my top 20. Probably not even my top 30 characters that I want. But after doing a little bit of research about the character and kind of getting to getting an idea in my head of how this character could end up playing out. I really like the possible potential. Maybe I'm way off base, but just going from what I read, the little stuff that I was kind of digging up about the character would be really cool. So Bandai Namco, right? First of all, that's the company that owns them, right? Bandai. A lot of people are like, Bandai needs another rep. Bandai deserves a second rep. They really do, right? I mean, the first character well, I guess the only character they have is Pac-Man. My face scan's probably blocking him, but Pac-Man happens to be the symbol eating the pellets on his hat, which is a cool representation. Kind of a cool, like, hey, Bandai bros sticking together. So that's a cool little touch. But Klonoa as a character, again, Bandai deserves a second rep, so maybe Klonoa. Sort of a blast from the past, in a sense. So Klonoa, how could he work? When I was looking up these the moves, and I was discussing this in his first match, I like the idea of a lot of, I mean, you probably have to have wind-based moves in there somewhere, because, I mean, that just really fits the character. So, how could that really work? So, you could think of it in terms of, what else did I have here? So, like, he's got a wind projectile. It's kind of like a wind bullet, sort of just a wind projectile. So that could, just fire it off. You got a simple little projectile. But maybe the added effects of these wind attacks end up pushing your opponent just a little bit. And, depending on which attacks can do what, the stronger attacks will have a little extra wind effect that will end up push after they get hit by the attack. Then they'll have like this little pushback from the attack. So you get hit, and then, you'll go flying, but for... Maybe I guess that's how it could be done. Like if they end up shielding, obviously they'll end up not taking damage because they'll block the attack, but the wind itself will end up kind of pushing them a little farther away. So kind of a good spacing sort of character. So what else did I have here? Tornado attack, simples there. He's got a wind blade, so you could end up using that for a smash attack. Yeah, he's not going to be just a sword character. Trust me on that one. But Wind Blade potential there. What else did I have? Wind Boomerang, which would be awesome. We already have Boomerang physics in Smash Bros. So the Boomerang, again, you just chuck it. And maybe as it's kind of like the Link's Boomerangs, right? You throw it, and as it's coming back, it kind of pushes you towards your... when you throw it, if it misses the opponent... When the boomerang's on its way back to you, if the opponent happens to have its back to the boomerang, the boomerang pushes your opponent towards you a little bit, brings them in so you can set them up for the next attack. Keep on the offensive always. Keep your opponent on their toes. So, wind-based sort of projectile, wind-based moveset could be a really fun idea to really have here. And, jab combo's probably going to be some punches and kicks, potentially. So, obviously, most characters have punches and kicks. Unless you have an actual sword, then you're going to use the sword in your jab combo. But, overall, another kind of cool idea for a character. Kind of a, if you will, a gimmick for the character. Because that's kind of like how everybody has so far with all the DLC. They've had one special attribute, special thing about the character. Maybe that could be Klonoa's and could make an interesting playstyle. I like the potential, but King Boo's been a want of mine for so much longer. King Boo easily gets my vote in this matchup. So let me know who you guys are voting for down in the comments. King Boo or Klonoa or both. All are good options. Anyway, that is it. So a little sneak peek for tomorrow. Tomorrow's matchup is going to be an interesting one. Two first-party characters going at it. We have Rex and Pyra, or if you just like Rex. I guess Rex could work solo, or Rex, Pyra, Mythra, whatever. Rex in some form, whether he comes with Pyra and Mythra or whatever. Rex and Pyra from the Xenoblade franchise is taking on Sceptile from the Pokemon series Final Evolution Grass Starter. That's something a lot of people have been wanting to see for a while. So we'll see how that one plays out, but that's tomorrow, and then the results, we'll get the results for who? Medusa, who was taking on Ryu Hayabusa. Medusa versus Hayabusa. Good matchup there. But we'll see who wins. That's tomorrow. Today's wrapping up. Hope you guys enjoyed as always. Hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.